Okay, I'm back with a tutorial on how to make these crocheted ear holders for masks. If you've got a mask that has an open channel here that's about that wide, you'll be able to use these for your masks. This is my mid-realm one because we are in the Society for Creative Anachronism and we live in the mid-realm. And the tutorial that I just did before shows that. My son wanted a neutral one for his more dressy black mask that he's wearing when he wants to look nicer. So this is also an opportunity to show the difference between the two masks. My mother-in-law, who is a professional seamstress, she worked at Hugo Boss until they closed here in Cleveland and outsourced. She was the finisher on their suits, so she's got some really outstanding skills. So this is the standard mask that is being sent out for medical workers. But we put wire in the nose. We're putting wire in the nose of any of them that we sell directly to people, even though the designer that she's making them for is not doing that. So you can see the profile on the two masks is very different. Hello, service dog. That's my service dog's nose. The ones that she's making have from the nose to the chin a very straight profile, and then there's this chin cup part that holds it more secure under your chin instead of just relying on you having a cutoff that falls in here. This one, when I'm wearing this and I talk, my face it moves on my nose a lot. This one, she needs a measurement how far up the nose you want it to go, which can be a matter for eyeglass wearers, though. But the wire really does keep it from fogging up the glasses. And then from nose to the tip of your chin with your mouth open as if you're talking. She needs that measurement, and then from ear to ear across your nose. She needs that measurement before you place an order with her so that she knows what sizes to make. These take her about an hour to make. She thinks these take her like 15 minutes to make. So that's part of the price difference. Right now, as of this recording, she's charging $15 for these and $25 for these, just based on how much more time it takes her to make it. So she gets a better hourly rate from it. And the rest of it is fabric materials and such. We're running low on elastic, as everybody is, so that's why I started making these. She asked me to improvise something. So the 15 to 20 or 25 includes a selection of fabrics from what we've got on hand, and bias tape ties, which we are making in-house. I 3D printed a bias tape maker, and these I designed and 3D printed. But for this tutorial, I'm just using standard pony beads, which I have sorted. I am out of green. I had originally been putting 3 beads on, but I'm pretty sure, and I'm prototyping this slightly as I do this, I'm pretty sure that 1 will be sufficient to keep it from pulling through if you really don't want much bling, which my son doesn't really want much bling. So I'm doing this one with just 1 pony bead on each of them, and he asked for purple because that is his high school's color. And so since I plan to make 2 before I cut it, well, I'll probably cut it and show you how to do the finishing so that you don't have to go watch the other video if you don't want to. It's always fun trying to thread things while watching my hands through a video. And yeah, I'll eventually get time to repaint my nails. You know, priorities. Somebody's coming up. That's my firstborn. I'm making a tutorial on making the ear loops.
Tassel? Yeah.
Not the tassel. He's graduating from Tri-C with his Associate of Arts and having virtual commencement, so I actually just made him a tassel. But I don't think I'm going to do a tutorial on that. So again, I'm using one of my favorite crochet hooks from turn-of-the-century.com, Mr. Schmidt. He doesn't pay me. If he wants to send me some crochet hooks, I would absolutely not say no, but I have not gotten any compensation. I really love working with these. So with these, start with a slip knot, put it on, chain one. Depending on the size bead you're going to use is how many chains you need to make here, because it needs to be able to flip over. But we're making this starting loop here. Oh, I didn't tuck that string very well. So the pony beads need three, and I pull them tight because I want it to be secure on there. Oh, I forgot to tell you what kind of yarn I'm using. I'm using Lion Brand 24/7 mercerized cotton yarn, however you say that. I'm not sure that's how it's said. I don't think I've got one with a label on it in reach. I'm going to experiment with Aunt Lydia's size 3 fashion crochet mercerized cotton as well, but as of this time I have not tried with those, and I don't know the stitch counts with that. Okay, so now I'm going to single crochet into that first chain that I made, that I did keep loose enough to get a crochet hook into. And now I'm going to be single crocheting into itself, into this prior stitch, like I do for the ear savers. So I'm pinching right at the base of where the stitch is. I pulled this side, I pulled tight. I'm pinching there so I don't accidentally pull the loop all the way through and making a single crochet. Then back into that stitch, pull a loop up, pinch, pull through both, whoops, and again with the hard to thread something when I'm looking at my hands through a camera lens. There. And back into the bottom of that stitch. I'm going to keep doing this. I do 30. This is what I found to be a good one size fits all length on these, is with this weight thread and this size hook, which I think is a G. 30 of these stitching into themselves, which I'm going to totally lose count, and so I'm going to just cheat and measure it against the one that's already made, because it's not really an exact thing. I'm not making buttonholes on this, so it doesn't matter if it's a set number. It's just a length. And I'm going to go faster than, I'm going to try and go at my normal speed, but again, I'm doing this half by touch, half by visual. Again, going into the part that I pinched, pulling yarn through, so I've got 2 loops on, and then making it as a double crochet while pinching to make sure that that loop doesn't go all the way through, because I don't want to dig for it. You could, if you do it, you can make it so it's tighter, but I'm also going for this to be kind of flat, but squishable. And I don't want this to be I don't want my tension too tight on this, because then it won't have any stretch to it. So that's the thing with doing it this way. It more reliably has stretch to it than if I were to try to work into a chain. I'm notoriously bad about making my chains a little too tight, and so that there's no stretch, which is why I learned how to do this in the first place, because it gives the edge of whatever you're going to build off of it a nice bit of stretch and give, and I like things to have a little bit of stretch and give, because I'm constantly in movement. And please excuse all the clutter at the top of your screen. That's just where the supplies for the various things I've been making are sitting, because I keep switching between. This is not fun to do staring through a tablet, but I think this gives you the best view of what I'm doing, so you can copy it as long as you're right-handed, or able to work the crochet hook with your right hand. You can see exactly what the hand movements are. This isn't something, this is kind of good for learning to crochet. My 12-year-old, did I go too long on that? No, okay. My 12-year-old is, almost 13-year-old is,
No, not my toy.
Hi, Stinky. Okay, can you take it downstairs and show Daddy?
No,
That's my 3-year-old. My hands are busy right now, and we might be about to get a cameo. He's climbed on, he's cuddling me. Oh. You watching Mama crochet?
Yeah.
And I got a kiss. And I'm on a rocker recliner, and he's, my 3-year-old, now sitting on the arm of the rocker recliner. So sorry about all the camera movement. I've got I've got my tablet strapped around my neck, resting against my chest to get this angle right.
Okay.
Hi, Stinky. He's got his tablet now, and gonna have probably PBS Kids or something in the background. I have no idea what he's got on there right now. Okay. Is that long enough yet? Like I said, it's not exact. Yeah, it's about the same. So, my gosh, it's so hard to, as hard as it is to get the hook back in if it falls out when I'm by myself, being on a moving piece of furniture with a 3-year-old squirming against my side and doing this through the camera, that's just extra fun. So, yeah, threads. So that's about 5 is good for a single pony bead, I think. I don't know. It doesn't terribly matter. Okay, Quince, can you please be less squirmy against my arm right now? Get the bead up there. Hopefully you could see what I was doing, because with him squirming, it's hard for me to see what I'm doing. And now I am slip stitching to secure that, and I'm going to slip stitch all the way back up to the other side, but I'm going to go loose to let it keep having some stretch. So this is not a tight slip stitch.
Thank you, Timmy.
Yes, I love you too, Quincy. What are you watching?
At night time.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Under my bed. At night, the monsters roar.
I have no idea what he is watching. It's something kid appropriate.
Monsters woke me up.
He doesn't have access to much.
There are no monsters. They're just pictures. Look.
Mommy
Loving
said
the
the
accents, though.
monsters were just pictures.
No more monsters.
This is also a little bit of incident. These aren't your professional, polished quality tutorials that you get on YouTube. No. This is real life of a disabled person making stuff with 5 kids and 2 elderly in-laws
I wanted to play monsters.
and a high school teaching
Mommy,
husband
I found the
around.
monsters in the bin.
You, I think, is in the middle of a meeting.
Mommy, can I get my monsters?
I think he said something about having a video meeting because, yay, quarantine.
Mommy said the monsters were too noisy.
So,
They're just pictures, I said. Mommy said, okay. But no more roaring.
and the only way to get this kid to take a nap, generally, is to take him out on a car ride and put on an audiobook. And he will really reliably fall asleep
I just don't like monsters.
if I do that. But, anyway, you don't want to sleep. But,
So,
then,
why don't we make your monsters?
it's,
Daytime.
I have to stay out for the whole time that he's taking a nap. And so I usually will, that's when I take an older kid with me to stay in the car with him and help me with my wheelchair. And sometimes both of my older ones, because we're listening to some audiobooks together that they're really enjoying. They're currently listening to Drew Hayes's Superpowers Year 3, which they really, really like. They blasphemously, my 12-year-old blasphemously says that Drew Hayes is better than J.K. Rowling. Okay, it's good, but I'm not going that far. J.K. Rowling goes into the Harry Potter books, go into more history and mythology and stuff, and I feel have a bit better research into culturally diverse issues, and I do really, really like the characterization in the Drew Hayes novels, though. He is a very good student of humans. And I absolutely, every once in a while I say Chris Hayes, which I think is the MSNBC guy. Yeah, Drew Hayes is the author. If you want to check out Drew's books, they are on Hoopla, which is where I originally found his Fred the Vampire Accountant book on Overdrive, which we have access to through our public library. And then I found more of them on Hoopla with No Waiting, which we always also have access to through our public library. And then I found, and I saw that some of them at least are also available as Kindle Unlimited. Supporting independent creatives. That's what I'm getting at. They're really good books and they're really long, so we'll get you through some long bits of quarantine time. I might have accidentally done. And my tablet battery's running low. Good timing though, because I'm at the end here, and then I go into that, not the slip stitch itself, not the stitches itself, but the circle that's made by it. With this last stitch. I missed the yarn. Fridged. And I just unraveled too much. It happens.
When Angel came to play, she helped me make my bubble bug monster too.
So into the big hole. I can't tell if I've got the yarn right.
I'm not sure yet, said Angel. We were having the Halloween party in our big,
Pull tight.
room.
We are gonna have to make this place.
Of course, that's when the yarn decides to be splitty. Usually this yarn does not split like this. It's really pleasant to work with.
At one end of the room, Daddy made a castle. The castle
There.
was very
So I pull tight. I also
Angel came along to
loop it
help
through
too. We put the pumpkin
itself.
all around
Pull tight again. I don't know if I have it in me to, especially with a toddler on me. I think I might have missed the whole. Darn it. Yeah, I didn't do what I was intending to do. That last stitch was supposed to go through the loop, but with okay, you're cold. Maybe you should try wearing pants instead of shorts. So anyway, it goes in there. I am not up to trying to thread this with a toddler on me and a low battery, but I would snip there, then take I usually can't even see what I'm doing. Have to just get it to focus. So I follow the braid like that. I go in the middle and around and go into the stitches, following the stitches like that, all the way down, slide this down, thread the end of the yarn through. Usually I go more stitches than that, but and then pull through to get the ends of the yarns tucked in, and then they hide pretty well. But that's one of these loops. And then, as I showed in my other video, you I don't want to use my wooden hook for it, but you can take, it helps if you've got a crochet hook to thread these through. You put it in, oh, I did it upside down. We've found that we like going through the chin side, or having the bead on the, wind up on the chin side instead of on the top. Go through there, pull that, this part that has your, you're going to thread the bead through, hook it on there, pull through, and then the rest of the instructions are on the other video that I uploaded a little bit ago. But again, I didn't actually finish this one yet, so I'm going to leave it here because my battery's about to die, and I really can't do any more with a toddler sharing a moving piece of furniture with me. Hopefully nobody got too motion sick from this. Bye!